1996 Geo tracker that I recently bought. Why, I don't know. I'm a glutton for punishment. It is the better model anyway. It's not in that bad a shape. It's got some issues, but it's got pardon me. It's got power steering and AC, but unfortunately it's got the 16 valve 1.6 liter. Unfortunately the AC, actually the blower motor is not working, and we're going to dig into that here in a minute. I've already started on it. I wasn't going to film anything. I thought it was going to be simple, just a, you know, I thought maybe it was a resistor block or something, but the AC's not working either, but I can't tell because the blower motor is not coming on, and without power to the blower motor, the AC is not going to come on. So I did find some information online for power distribution, and one of the fuse panels is here, and one of them in here is the AC, but it's got power. There's nothing wrong in here. The AC, the big one out here for the AC works. This is my power probe. I'm going to hook this back up. There's a second fuse panel inside the car. I'm sorry about the lighting. It's probably not the greatest. So all I've done is just taken 4 screws out. One here, one here, one here, one here. And this panel, there's clips right here that hold the top of the panel on both sides. And I just popped it out so I could look in here. The fuse panel for this is up underneath here. So I've got the fuse out of it for now, but it's the third one over on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, and it should be a 25 amp, and somebody had a 20 in it, a 20 amp fuse, but it's not blown. And if you know how these power probes work, there is no power here. But when I put the fuse back in and I put power to it, so there is no power here or here. When I put the fuse back in it and put power to it, the blower comes on. I can't tell if the AC is coming on because I'm, you know, under the dash holding the power probe button to the power. So I did use my fuse buddy, and I put it up in there, and I put power to one side, and it's only drawn like 7.8 amps, and the blower motor is on high. So I think that's working correctly. Somebody's been in here and hacked on some wiring, not a lot, but I think the next step now is I've looked online, and it says there's a yellow with the black stripe. Let's see if we can look in here. I'm not sure if those connections right there go to the fuse panel or not, but it comes off the back of the ignition switch, and the ignition switch is up in here. So I'm thinking I might have to take this panel off and look at the back side of the ignition switch. It could be the ignition switch is bad for that power on, because it looks like from the wiring diagram the only thing it runs is the AC and the power windows, and this does not have power windows. So I'll be back in a few minutes once I get this panel off. It looks like there's just 2 screws possibly, or 3 here maybe, another one here. I'm not sure. I'm gonna see if I can get the bottom of this off and look in here, because I don't think it's like the old GMs where they had the wire coming down to the switch at the bottom of the console. I think there's quite a bit of wiring going up in here. So I'm thinking the ignition switch is behind this panel. So I'll get it off and we'll see. So I got the cover off of the steering column, and I was right. The switch is on back here. This where it kind of reminds me of Honda. I think Honda had an ignition switch like this, and Toyota had it going through the bottom of the, well anyway, the switch mechanism's here. And the yellow with the black is right there, if you can see it. Yellow with black is right there. It's kind of hidden. When I turn the ignition on, it's kind of hard to do with one hand, but I'll try. When I first turn the ignition on, see, now I've got power there, but all I have to do is put the key forward all the way, and we lose power. We lose power there. So if I bring the key back just a twit like that right there, I think the blower comes on now and AC. So now we'll go see if the pump is engaging. I haven't cycled it. The pump is engaging. I don't know what that hiccup is. It's probably a vacuum leak. I'm not sure. But I know these Trekkers and these Suzuki's, Trekkers and Sidekicks, are notorious for the little to no air coming out of the dash. I got the window open over here. Yeah, there's like no air coming out of here. I wonder if it's a blend door problem or if it's a... It sure is making a lot of noise, you know. Oh, wrong one. So I put it on the floor, and I want to know how cold the air is getting. It's not getting very cold. Something else too, did the fans come on, the electric fans? Well, it doesn't have an electric fan, does it? I thought it did for the AC. I thought it had an electric fan. It's got a clutch fan. The pump's on. It's not very cold. This should be getting ice cold. So is the switch bypassed? Is it low on Freon? Further diagnostic is needed. Where's our condenser dryer? Here's the evap. Well, there is an electric fan in the front, and it is running. Now I did notice that the horn wasn't working the other day. Still not. Oh yeah, it is. It's just not pushing the right buttons. I thought you could push that. It needs a new horn. I think this thing needs a lot of new stuff. So, all right, I'll see what about getting an ignition switch. But that seems kind of weird that it can go forward enough. I'll turn off the vehicle. So now if we listen, there's the ignition on. There's start. I'm not pushing on the clutch. So coming back right off of the start, I'm sure I don't have any power there. Yeah, see, it's showing ground because I got the blower motor on. It's finding ground through the blower motor circuit. So if I just turn this back just a little, see, the blower motor comes on. All right, I'll see what I can do about this. There's another problem too that we'll look at. I mean, there's a lot of problems on this thing. It's going to be a lot of videos. So I'll see what I can get for an ignition switch, and hopefully that fixes this problem. Hopefully I can get a good quality one, not a freaking Dorman pile of crap. So I got the screw out of the ignition switch, and I messed with it. And of course, too long to get in there. So I went and got a bit. And a 1/4 inch wrench. And I popped it out. I went and looked online. I looked everywhere. I called several parts stores. Nobody's making ignition switch for this rig anymore. Not even the Suzuki Sidekick either. So SOL on that. Sorry. Should have bought it 20 years ago and changed the switch then. Well, whatever. These are good vehicles on, you know, they get good fuel mileage, 4-wheel drive. So nobody's making this ignition switch that I can find. I've Googled it. I've looked everywhere. eBay, you might be able to find a used one. So I pulled it out, looked at it, decided I don't want to take it apart because I don't want to break it because I can't get another one. So I went to the old standard, deox it, save the day again. So I'll hold it. Let me get the key. I'll hold the ignition switch into place. Every time now. Start position. Every time I turn it on. So, deox it, save the day again. Deox it, save the day again. From a on-off switch on a 1938 radio to an ignition switch on a 1996 Geo Trekker. So I'll put the screw back in it and put the steering column back together. I see that it doesn't have backup lights. I'm assuming that's the switch on the transmission. I'm not going to mess with that right now. I do need backup lights, but I'm not going to screw with that right now. I got other things I need to move on to. And thanks for watching, and have a great day.